Sulfur is an old-school first-person extraction shooter with RPG elements. While the game describes itself as a roguelike, I would say extraction shooter is more fitting here. Basically, you play as a priest, whose church got burnt down by a witch. You chase her into this weird dimension called Sulfur. That's like a waiting room for the afterlife. You've got a mystical amulet that helps you travel between areas and store power. There's a hub location. Here you have your personal stash, can talk to NPCs and trade items. There's quite a bit of customization here when it comes to your weapons. You can buy gun parts, ammo and attachments like scopes. And a mystical merchant can also sell you magical stuff, like enchantments. There are also diverse cooking recipes that offer unique abilities, but the meat of the game takes place once you head out and make your way deeper. The early access features 5 areas, which are the caves, which is what you will see for the majority of this video. Then there's the town, sewers, dungeon and castle. Each of these biomes is supposed to have unique enemies, challenges and distinct type of loot. You shoot various enemies, mostly these goblin-like creatures, and collect loot. While the early levels felt pretty easy, the later ones, especially after map 4, ramp up significantly. The maps can sometimes feel unbalanced and inconsistent with the enemy spawn rate, like sometimes maps are almost empty and sometimes it feels too much, but they are surely gonna balance this better. One interesting thing is that you can teleport back to your base, basically whenever you want, using your amulet. You just have to charge it up at shrines first. This lets you stash your items if things get too dangerous, which is why I think extraction shooter is a more fitting term. Something you probably would not expect from this art style is that you can see through your enemy's bones when you shoot or melee them, which is pretty neat. The art style is easy on the eyes, and I personally like the 2D character models that have some neat animations, but this is pretty subjective, so I expect some people may not be a huge fan of this. The crafting system, as far as I have seen, includes combining and cooking items at campfires. You can find various pieces of armor and equipment, and like I said earlier, weapons are highly customizable. Most of your items do have durability. This can be repaired at the traders. The developers mentioned the early access serves as the foundation on which they are going to expand. Based on player feedback, they did emphasize that they plan to keep the early access phase as short as possible. There is a roadmap that gives a pretty good idea of what they have planned, like the endless mode, more weapons and magic and new areas. And that sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.